Hey, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to improve our reading in English. There are a lot of ways to improve our reading in a foreign language, and this is a key component in our studies, because if you cannot read, you cannot work in an English environment. And if you want to go to a college abroad, you really need to know how to read well and read all kind of text, not just newspaper articles or books. You really need to know how to read and comprehend well a text of any kind. So how can you do this? I think the best way, and I've seen a ton of studies that show that this is the most effective way to improve our reading, is by just reading a ton of books. Of course, this is pretty obvious, but a lot of people underestimate the power of reading. And I really recommend two books, The Power of Reading by Stephen Krashen and Free Voluntary Reading, I think the name is, by the same author. These two books are going to show you how powerful reading is in our language learning studies. Also, if you don't like to read, just focus on reading text and books that you really enjoy. Don't read something that you find boring, because you're not going to read anything and you're going to just leave the book without reading it and without finishing it. I think that one of the best feelings that any student can have is when they finish a book in a foreign language. This is a very good feeling, because you see results, you see that you can read, and you see that you can do this. And don't bother looking up every word that you don't understand when you are reading. Try to understand words by context, and by that I mean, if you read something that you don't understand, keep reading, and you'll eventually are going to understand what that word means. What kind of books should you read? I really recommend to read novels, because they're more dense, and there are a lot of words, adjective, nouns, and stuff like that are very, very useful in our vocabulary. Also, if you don't like novels, read non-fiction books. There are thousands of non-fiction, very good literature in the American and English side of English literature. Reading is extremely important, it's paramount, and if you are thinking of tackling or taking any international test in English, you really need to know how to read, because you're gonna see that a lot of these exams have a reading section when you have to read sections of newspapers, novels, articles, college essays, etc. Reading is really, really important. I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.